welcome back to my show. It's been a long time since my last episode. I'm so sorry for that. I was really busy with my own things. But, anyways, nonetheless, I've come back with a brand new episode for you all. This episode is really important because this episode has a very big topic. Now, the topic which I'm going to be talking to you about is really interesting and not many people know about it. So, sit tight, hang tight, and yeah, let's start and learn something new. Okay, now some of you may have heard of this, some of you may have not, but today we're going to be talking about Purple Prose. Now, if you would have heard of it, you would know that Purple Prose is the thing that makes your writing very chunky. It uses a lot of adjectives. I mean, of course, adjectives are really good, but it overemphasizes or overloads your work with a lot of clutter. Now, sometimes Purple Prose in small quantities would be good, but too much would make it too full. Now, a more proper definition of Purple Prose is that it shows descriptive parts of your story and, as I said earlier, overemphasizes what you're trying to say. If you find a passage or a part in your own type of writing, it draws attention to your extravagant vocabulary. Now, some examples I could give you of Purple Prose is just saying, let's say you want to say that it was sunny outside. Now, instead of just saying it was sunny outside, you say before I continue with this, I just want to let you know, do not confuse this with imagery. Imagery and Purple Prose are completely different things, and the thing with Purple Prose is that it's over exaggerated and over complicated, which is why people try to avoid it. So let's say you're trying to say it's sunny again. So instead of just saying it was a beautiful, bright, sunny morning and Jerry was going to school on a Monday morning, instead of saying that, you'd be like, it was a sunny, bright, early morning with birds were fluttering and crows were cawing, and the sun was glimmering in the sunset with extravagant, vibrant colors flowing everywhere. The clouds whooshed by, and the clouds looked fluffier than angels on a Sunday morning. Something like that. Now, of course, this, as you can already say, this is just an example, and it's pretty clunky, as you can already see. There's a lot of things which you don't need to say because you've already said it's a sunny morning. Now, of course, show not tell is also another thing we have talked about, I believe. So that is also where you just show and not tell. So that's another thing. Again, that's another thing actually you should not get confused with, which means that do not get this confused, because show not tell is a very important thing in writing. In writing, you really need to show and not tell so that your reader can imagine what you're writing. Purple Prose is basically just clunking up your writing, and I would suggest not using it too much since you do not want your writing to become too clunky. Now, the main reasons that you should avoid Purple Prose at all costs, of course there's no compulsion, it's up to you really, is because it distracts from what you're trying to say. Since you write so elaborate words or clunky sentence structures, it takes away from what you're reading. Let's say I am reading a book about Jerry. Okay, I'm talking about Jerry because that's the example I gave earlier, so let's just continue from that. Let's say the story is about Jerry who's going to school and is learning to make new friends. Okay, and you're just talking about the environment, basically not enough about Jerry. Jerry is just like on the side and you're just focusing on setting. Now of course setting is a main and good part to include in your writing, but it should not be your entire focus. Your focus should be on each and every element of your story and should be equally divided up, because with just the setting, if there are no characters, there is no story. So now of course sometimes when some characters are non-living things like talking tables and talking chairs or stuff like that, but they're still characters because they can talk and have feelings of their own because they've been fictionalized and made that way. So in that sense, purple prose just distracts from what you're trying to say. Another thing is that having writing with overcomplicated words just makes it complicated for your reader, especially if your reader is young. Because the last thing you want your reader to do is not read your story or your book just because their words are too complicated and they have to open a dictionary. Now, in my personal experience, when I open a dictionary or search up the word online, I lose track of what I'm reading, or better yet, or worse yet, I do not continue reading because on one page there's a lot of big words or complicated words which I've never even heard of. They sound like SAT words or something like that, right? So now in that sense, you should never, in fact, even for grown-ups, adults, teenagers, kids obviously, but they all feel, according to me at least, that you should not clunk your work. I know I'm saying the word clunk a lot, but over here this is a good word to use because that's exactly what purple prose really is doing to your writing. It's clunking it and making it a big pile of words which no one can understand unless of course they're SAT student, which I don't think many readers are. I may be wrong actually, but yes, so that's one thing. The last and final thing would be that these fancy words that many people who use purple prose is that they are more effective when being used like a little bit. Now too many fancy words will also get your reader annoyed and irritated about what you're writing because they do not want to open a dictionary every single time they read a page. They want to just sit and read your story. So another thing again, so basically the final point is that just try to avoid purple prose if possible, and if you're using it, use it like sparingly, which means just use it a little bit here and there, not too much, because too much is just gonna make your work very very messy and it just would be hard for your reader to read. Now some tips on how you can avoid doing this. Now the things I told you earlier, these are just like why you should not be using this mainly, but these are the actual tips. Number one, try using like online resources to find synonyms to your words so that you do not have to like create like a whole elaborate thing just to say that it was sunny. So ways to say sunny could be, actually let me give you a different example. For raining, it is pittering and pattering. That's a childish way to say it was raining. Or you could say let's say to storm. There was a storm outside. You could say the clouds turned grey and the clouds thundered with a loud deafening noise ringing in Peter's ears. Something like that. That way you can know there's thunder going on, and that the character who's Peter is going to lose his hearing probably by the end of the storm because of the ringing. Now of course in real life, again this is just a fictionalized example, this is a fiction story, and obviously most of the time when the thunder effect happens, no one loses the hearing unless of course they're totally near the thunderbolt. So that's one thing I would say. Second thing is just think about what you want to show through your writing. Do you want to show that you are powerful as a writer, or do you want to show that you have a beautiful kind of structure which you want to show? So, anyways, that's all I would like to say, and I hope you loved this episode as much as I did talking about this topic. And I hope you learned something new, and I'll be bringing up more topics like this. And let me know if you have any suggestions for any future topics, or any authors and illustrators, or anyone you want me to interview in the future episodes. To do so, you can go to my Anchor page, which is anchor.fm/Anika674. I repeat, anchor.fm/Anika674, and go to the top right corner and you'll find my voice message box. When you click on that, you'll have to create an account with Anchor, and then you can send me a voice message. If you prefer not to do so, you can go to Apple Podcasts or your listening stream page and go to the comment section and comment what you want me to do next. So now I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you everyone, and I will be putting up new episodes every Sunday. Thank you so much.